Week we're talking about men's fashion trends, and joining me in the studio I have George Tete from Atu Tete Fashion. He's a designer, and also Prince Boama, also known as Kula Perry. He's a stylist, and today we're going to be discussing about men's fashion trends. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show. What's trending at the moment when it comes to men's fashion? Let's start off at the feet. Usually we start at the head. Let's start at the feet. What kind of footwear is in trend at the moment when it comes to men?
Honestly, for now, with the fashion trend system in Ghana now, people want to feel free and still look good. So for the classic men, they do it much of shoes. You have polished type and the laminated type also. That's the mirror shoes. Some also go in for the desert boots, whereby they suit up with desert boots, or maybe they will go with the separated suits,
right?
Whereby you come with blazer looks, bomber looks, and all white as well.
Okay. George, your opinion?
Yeah, I think the men are also wearing the gladiators. They are wearing thick-soled sneakers, which comes in different colors. Yeah, so that's basically
what's happening with the footwear at the moment. And I mean, when it comes to male trends, I mean, at the moment, you know, I'm wearing my African print, you're wearing slick African print, you're on your bold plain colors. But what other trends are out there at the moment? Are people wearing, you know, polka dots, stripes? What kind of patterns and trends are out there?
For now, what I have realized is people go in more for vivid patterns. That is whereby people can come with the African patterns or the Western style patterns. Whereby we have the camel look, we have the flower shirt look. But for now, there's another pattern whereby people go in for all white or all black.
Okay.
Because they don't want to really get themselves disturbed with colors. But that one will not be, for me, a proper way to dress, because if you believe in fashion, you should feel free to match colors.
Right. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah. Button-up shirts have been with us for a while, and it's always trendy. We see loose t-shirts, the vintage style. Yeah.
Now, when you say loose t-shirts, vintage style, what's that?
It's a bit longer than the usual.
The ones that are almost coming down to the knees,
right? With bigger sleeves,
right?
Sometimes folded up. Those are basically
okay. Now let me ask you this: where are our fashion trends coming from? Are they being originated and innovated within our own shows, or are we watching music videos and movies and copying from there? Personally, I mean, when you talk about things like sneakers and stuff, we're copying. It's coming straight from the music videos, because there's lots of stuff which I see which I wouldn't wear myself. But in your opinion, where are these trends coming from?
Honestly, the trends is basically from the Western culture. But what I saw was, even with the Western culture, we have a way we blend in. Because me as a stylist, I would not actually agree for the fact that if you're going to do something, it should be based on what you see.
Right.
So we can adopt to that style and regenerate it into something to become ours. That is why we stylists exist.
Right.
To give people the real meaning of what they can be in fashion.
Okay.
Yeah, very much we look up to the celebrities around that we see on TV, on the runways, the fashion weeks. We see what's going to even come. The system is actually the clothes come on the runway before the season. We have two major seasons, so we see what's going to come and we buy them and we use them. So basically from the runways and celebrities.
All right, so I mean, on the screen right now you can see some different patterns that seem to be in vogue at the moment, and men seem to be patronizing a lot of this as well. Let's talk about hats, headwear. Now, I'm a bit, you know, cross-board when it comes to hats. I really don't mind so long as it fits my head. One thing I don't like is the Pharrell hat. You know, Pharrell wore it. It looked good on Pharrell. It doesn't look good on everybody else. Why is everybody wearing it?
Honestly, you see, because now people actually adapt to the Western way of dressing. If they say it and it's good on somebody, they think to be good on them. But even for that hat series, we have different types, which is in the same series.
Right.
Because for the fedora, we have Chobi, we have Baula, and we have Pork Pie. So you see, the Nigerians mostly are involved in using the pork pie.
Yes.
And the Ghanaians, maybe they don't know.
Right.
But if
So
they know,
one
they
of
will
the-
know.
okay, so these are baseball caps.
These are baseball caps.
Let's just go through the images, see if we can identify the. Okay, more baseball caps. We saw a fedora.
Oh, these are pork pie.
So that's the pork pie. So that's a shorter
Sure.
head fedora. What's this one?
Kura.
And those are
Kura. Okay.
Yes.
And as you can see in different patterns there also.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a fedora.
All right, so that's more of what Pharrell was wearing.
Sure. Even Pharaoh's own is a little bit elongated.
It was, wasn't it, with a roundish head? Now, I identified that as being one of the hats that the national Mounties wear in Canada. It's actually one of their official, uniforms for the police force, which has been adapted into, fashion. Are there any things around Ghana that we can look at that we can maybe incorporate more into what we're doing in fashion trends?
Sure, we can.
Like what?
You see, the fact that they like the Western way of culture in terms of fashion, we could easily adopt that and put our culture in there. This our fabrics. So if we have a fedora and with the band we have it in kente, I think it's nice.
Yeah.
So maybe a white suit up can come with a white fedora with a
Kente
brim line for the kente.
Nice.
And that will be originality.
Yeah.
We have them and we have ours too.
Right.
So they will even like to even have ours.
Patronize ours. Yeah.
Patronize ours.
Good point. Ato, what do you say?
Well, I think now the world has become very small, and fashion is a universal language. So we wouldn't say that there's a specific fashion for Africa and something different for the world. But then again, there are certain little things that we can put in the general fashion that will trace those back to Africa or to Ghana.
Right.
Well, the print is one of them. We have something like the kufi hat, the small hat that usually the Muslims wear.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So those are little things that we can also add up.
Okay. Let's talk about trousers, jeans, pants. At the moment, I can see you're wearing elasticated at the bottom, so they bunch up. You're wearing very straight jeans at the moment. There's a new trend that's come out, which I have to say, and I'll put it on record, I don't like, which is trousers ending just above the ankle. Now, leaving a huge gap between where the trouser ends and whatever footwear you're wearing. Some decide to wear socks. Some don't wear socks. Some wear very bright socks, depending on what they're wearing. What's with this new fashion? I don't get it. I have to say, I don't get it. So maybe you guys can convince me.
Actually, that style it originated from the French style.
Right.
Then it veered into the British style. It's mainly for the men's fashion. They have a group of persons who are into classic style.
Right.
They didn't actually brought that for it to be copied in that way.
Okay.
But it's not everybody that it will suit.
Right.
Because it's mainly for tall people who can have three-quarter trousers and show certain stuff so that the people who sell socks could make some money.
Right.
So that to match up with the colors that they're trying to blend.
Okay.
So if people like a short person trying to wear that, it will look very funny.
Right.
So it will be actually based on the person and how he looks.
So
before you
the
can come up with
initial reasoning behind it, the marketing strategy, is not what people are following now. They're basically following it blindly. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Now, I mean, with something like that, I mean, would you think that's suitable for a corporate environment?
To me, it's not suitable for a corporate environment. Simply because that was a street fashion,
Right.
which was supposed to be corporate. So it's like a corporate street fashion,
Okay.
not a corporate look for a corporate kind of business.
Okay. So it was a fashion trend that literally was for a certain bunch of people, but it's been pushed into
Exactly.
everything that we're doing now. Quite worrying. Okay, what other fashion trends do we have when it comes to jeans? I noticed that we've got like low crotch sweats and stuff like that. What's that about?
We have the ripped jeans.
Ripped jeans, yeah.
We now most of the jeans are in white, which usually was not the case. Very skinny jeans.
Tight, yep.
Yeah, tight jeans. Yeah, those are
Kind of things. So I think I'm getting old because I can't see some. I mean, but these are all somewhat recycled fashions, aren't they? Because, for instance, the low crotch pants, MC Hammer, 1990s. Yeah, the tight white jeans with rips, that was punk rock style in the 80s. So is fashion just a recycling issue then? Is it something that every so often when we get bored we try and look into our parents' wardrobes and revamp or rehash one of these outfits that maybe have gone into history?
With this question, what I could say is it's not like we going back or they're going back to bring old trends. What they do is they get an old trend and they redevelop it to a current trend which will fit the society. Because for now, for the ripped jeans, actually, it was not something which has come to stay. It was just for a time frame whereby, you know, even if you get your jeans started, you could still wear it, but you don't have to throw it away.
Okay.
And it's become a trend that people are actually abusing the fact of a rip, because a ripped jeans should not be tattered.
Right. There's a difference between ripped and tattered.
Exactly.
Okay. If your body is falling out of your jeans, then it's tattered.
It's tattered.
Right. Okay. Atu, what's your contribution on that one?
I think it's okay if you go back in time to bring what's already existed, because back in the day they were also looking very good.
Yeah.
But as he said, you bring it back, bring it into time, and you add changes to it, make it more modern, and you're good to go.
Okay. Now, you mentioned something a little bit earlier on how you can time the trends because they do the runway shows, etc., in other countries. Now, obviously, with those as well, they have seasons for their trends. We don't really have like 4 seasons like how other continents or countries do. We basically have 2. It's hot or it's raining, and within those 2 seasons, our trends don't necessarily change too much. However, we still have people who are wearing clothes for winter and maybe not appropriate for our climate during these times. What would be your advice to those?
My advice to those people would be that clothes have to be functional. If in a very wet, a very hot environment, you're wearing maybe a trench coat, it's not right. So as much as you're looking very nice, you should look at what the environment or the weather demands and dress appropriately.
For me, you see, with times and seasons, we have 2. So if you want to dress up and you even want to be sleeved up, you should have a material which will be that light that it will go with the kind of system of where you're going.
Right.
Because maybe you don't even have an air-conditioned car.
Still breathable. Right?
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So there's a few more trends that I just want to take a quick look at. Denim. How's denim doing at the moment? I've seen a few girls rocking maybe long denim shirts, posing them as dresses. What's the fashion trend for men when it comes to denim at the moment?
Men also wear denim shirts, lighter denim. The skinny pants that we've already talked about, yes. That's mainly
That's about it, yeah.
But denim has been with us since time immemorial.
But what's your opinion on denim? Up, top and bottom. Cool. Still alright?
Still alright.
Yeah?
Still alright.
Maybe different shades.
Different shades of the denim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just before we do wrap up then, Cooler Perry, I want you to give me your ideal look at the moment for, I'm going to give you a task.
Okay.
It's my birthday on the weekend. What should I wear?
It's a birthday on the weekend. It will depend on where you want to have the birthday.
Okay. Now I'm going out with the friends. We're going to hit town.
Okay. I think we should go in casual.
Okay.
And clean. So what I would prefer is you go in white shirt, like the shirt I'm wearing right now, with white trousers.
Okay.
And come with some classic shoes. In the classic shoes, you could decide to come with a black mirror, or you come with the desert boots as well.
Okay.
So that you look clean and you feel free.
If you see me wearing that,
and white is victorious.
Yeah, we as Ghanaians, we like wearing white on our birthdays. Atu, what's your contribution?
I think I'll go with him.
Same one.
White.
Yeah.
White is in vogue.
Right.
White up, white down.
White up, white down. All right. Well, there you have it. If you see me on Saturday in all white, then you know that the boys have dressed me. Thanks so much for coming in this morning. This has been Mr. George Tete from Atu Tete Fashions, and also Prince Boama Kula Perry. He's a stylist as well. Thank you so much for coming in this morning and enlightening us about male fashion trends. Remember, fashion is not all about women. It's also about men.